I'm sat on a stool at the breakfast bar crying my eyes out and my mum staring at me. And I'm talking to Jesus. And yeah, he puts his arms around me, says that, and he says, they're not done with you. But you're going to be alright, but you've got to pick your magic back up. And I'm thinking I'm not doing magic again. And he starts showing me pentagrams. And I'm thinking I'm definitely not doing that again.
See, that's the part that confirms to me that she did not see Yeshua. Obviously, I don't know what Jesus she saw, but it definitely was not Yeshua. It's definitely not Yahweh. It's definitely not God. Because he said that you need to pick back up your magic. Yeshua's never going to tell you to pick back up what's an abomination to God. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, he's just not going to do that. And then showing you pin all of that stuff, all of that demonic stuff for you to go back to it. Hell no. You know, that's the moment I was like, yeah, you definitely did not see him. And you definitely still need deliverance. 100%. Now, I came across this little interview. Found it kind of fascinating what this lady's talking about. There's a few points I'll say that I'd like to touch on. But the main one is when she describes her encounter with Yeshua, Jesus Christ. I don't know, man. I just felt like, yeah, that's not Jesus Christ that you encountered. But, you know, you don't let me know what you think on the comments down below. Make sure to press the like button and share it as well. And make sure to subscribe if it's your first time seeing me today. We're going to have a look at this video. It's kind of long, but we're going to skip through a few moments to get to the moments that I want to speak about. So let's get into this video right now.
I'd always had experiences with hearing voices. Like, everyone in the family thought I was absolutely mental because I'd always talk to this woman who was in my head. To the point where, like, it'd stop me getting battered. It'd say, like, don't go downstairs yet. Used to go downstairs and, like, try and steal something out the fridge or the cupboards, whatever was there. And it'd be like, don't go yet, I wouldn't. So it'd keep me safe in one way or another. And I suppose I'd had an experience in Glastonbury where I was playing with something. It must have been a spirit. And I'd said to my brother, like, come and play with us. Rose, her name was. Come and play with us. And he was like, there's no one there. And he's shouting to my mum. And my mum was taking drugs behind one of the gravestones. And she was like, yeah, she is. Yeah, she is. I can see her.
And like the lady said, she had voices in her head, mainly a female. It was just trying to keep her safe in some way. And then, come on, like, we all got people that come across us where, you know, they're like snakes in it, in our lives, where they come in so subtle, come in as your friend, your best friend, and all of them things there, trying to, you know, be on your side and keep you safe in a way. But they have other intentions. They got malicious intentions towards you. And that's just the same thing that these spirits are doing. You know, we call them familiar spirits. And we just got to be very careful with these sort of entities, you know, because one minute they'll come in our lives and try and portray like they're really there to help us. But then later on, they show the true colours.
Yeah, I can see it. I mean, she might have just been hallucinating with what she was taking. But I suppose that also made it normal. But I remember at times as well, going into school, we'd gone to Colomendy on a trip. And I must have been, God, in year 4 at this point, so 9. And I said, oh, my mum's a witch. And one of the teachers was like, yeah, so am I. I've got crystals and cards, and she was showing me the crystals. So I thought it was dead normal. Having a professional echo that back that, yeah, I'm one of them as well.
I'm going to try and not say too much, but one thing I'm going to touch on very soon as well is professionals being in these sort of fields, but yet they entertain these sort of entities. And we've got to be very careful, especially if they're the sort of people like teachers. They're the sort of people who are around our children, you know, because all of this, you know, the energy, and get passed on to our children as well. Do you get what I'm saying? So we got to be very careful. Like she said, she told the teacher that, you know, her mum's a witch, and the teacher was like, yes, so am I. And these sort of, I'm telling you, it's like 90% of the teachers out there, you know, dealing with our children on a day-to-day basis, they do all sorts of things behind closed doors, you know, and then it's crazy when you actually deep it, when you think about it. But that's subject for another video. But let's carry on.
I think it was about 3 weeks after that casting that I went to, I started hearing this thing with me talking to me. It's like a low, very low, growly voice, which was the demonic that I've made the pact with. So I picked a very specific demonic to do it with called Belphegor. Demon of sloth and gluttony and stuff like that. And it's telling me its name and it's speaking to me, and I'm thinking I'm schizophrenic. I'm hearing voices, this is peculiar. But at the same time, I was like, maybe it's just because of what I've done. Maybe this is how it goes, type of thing. So I'm getting slow bits of work. I've got this thing in my ear. Now at this point as well, I'd always been able to hear other spirits, my own spirit guides, other people's passed on loved ones, my own passed on family, and it got shut off. And I couldn't hear nothing at all. And that was quite freaky. So I've gone from hearing all these lovely things and lovely messages like you're safe and blah, 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 to this thing screaming at me. And I think at some point as well, I would be able to tap in.
And that goes with what I said earlier because she's mentioned how all of a sudden all the nice stuff that all them other spirits were saying, they got shut off, and all she can hear is this one. And that's what I was trying to say from the beginning. It's like they'll come in so subtle, you know, the snake, the serpent, like it wants to be your friend, it wants to keep you safe, you know, saying all these nice things, and then all of a sudden, boom, when it's time for work, it's crunch time. You know what I'm saying? So that's the moment that she's at now, where the real colors are starting to show now. So it's like she's thinking, whoa, this is a bit much, but this is what you invited into your life. You know what I'm saying? All that, sorry to say, but all that, you know, lining up your wrist and all of that stuff, getting, you know, the juice out of your system and pouring it down and all of that. That's you know, that's a covenant in a way. You're making a covenant with the devil. You know what I'm saying? And then because you had so much faith, she had so much faith that it's got to work. Yeah, it's time. It's working right now in front of your eyes. Do you know what I'm saying?
I was like, I can help you. In fact, I think I can get you a lot of well-paid work. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. Takes the business card, and I thought nothing of it. And the work started drying up from this agency, and I was like, I'm getting a bit desperate. I've got bills to pay. So I sent him a message, and he was like, yeah, if you let me come and take some photos of you, I've got a private buyer who'll buy them off you.
Same way how God will send people to help you, you know, the word, destiny helpers. Same way how the devil has his own people as well. Satan got his own people in the industry to help you elevate. Yeah, you just got to pick which side you're on, really and truly. Because if you're on the other side, then Satan's not going to allow you to just be at the bottom of the barrel. You know what I'm saying? He's going to make sure that you're up there. But obviously, it comes at a price. And that's just one thing that everyone got to realize. It comes at a price. Whether it be family members being sacrificed, whether it be yourself being sacrificed, you know, your life, you might have done so many things where you get away with it, and then you get to a moment in your life where all hell breaks loose and there's no way out. You know, a lot of people sitting in prison because they're thinking, raw, I've done so much things, probably worse things, got away with it, and then all of a sudden I do this little thing and I'm sitting in jail for it, or I'm sitting in jail for something that someone else has done. but I got dragged into it. Do you get what I'm saying? But they got away with so much along the years. It's just a way of Satan just saying like, look, it's time to collect. And when it's time to collect, it don't matter what you're up to in that time. When Satan comes to collect, he's coming to collect. And either you or your family members or someone that you really love or yourself, you'll be sitting in jail and rotting away, or someone that you really love is going to lose their life, and that's just how it goes. That's the part of the sacrifice, and a lot of people don't realize it until it's too late.
And I was like, okay, what's your commission? I'm not taking none. And I was like, okay. So it goes, does the shoots. He made me a fair bit of money off the photos, and it was not on a mess, it was modern tights. And I didn't speak to him very often. He'd message me and say, do you want this job? And I'd be like, no, I don't fancy that, or can't do that, whatever. And after a minute, he said, look, I've got a really, really well-paid job. It's international. Do you want to get it? I'm going to send your portfolio off if you want you. We're going on Friday. And I was like, okay, fab.
So you would have been an easy target, though, because you're looking for answers. Yeah. So you would have been easily groomed, and that's the only way from what I can see it. But you would have been a target of, we can give you this life, you're buying into the bullshit, but you need to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So what happens then when you start kind of doing the...
And I've met a lot of people like this as well, where they're just seeking knowledge, seeking the reason of existing, and they try everything else apart from Yeshua. Obviously, like they said, they're right by what they said about religion and things like that. In a way, it's, a cultist. It's a cult. And if you don't have a relationship with Yahweh, with Yeshua, then you're going to try any other thing apart from that. Do you get what I'm saying? And a lot of people are fascinated by, magicians, by magic and things like that. Like what they said, like what she said, exactly what her words were. What was it? She don't support religion and all that, Christianity and all that, but she definitely knows that magic is real. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's what a lot of people are attracted to. But one of the reasons I feel that they don't want to try out Yeshua, the way, is because of the laws. That's why a lot of people in Christianity, they don't really pay attention to the Old Testament, because there's a lot of laws there. You get it? But you got to look at it this way, is if you're really trying to pray to the Most High as the Father, then naturally as a father, has rules. And if you don't abide by his rules in his house, then he's going to kick you out, or you're going to get in trouble. And that's the same thing that Yahweh just tries to do with his children. It's like, look, these are my rules, these are my laws. If you ain't trying to follow them, then you're out of here. That's why the Bible says in the end, a lot of people will be like, look, I've done this, I've done this, I've done these miracles, I've saved these people, I've done this in your name. But he's going to say at the end of the day, look, get away from me, for I never knew you. Those who practice lawlessness. Specifically saying, look, you ain't even trying to abide by my rules. Yeah, so how can you call yourself my child? That's just one thing within the society, within the body of Christ, that we need to take very seriously.
To get the kids to watch porn, get it normalised, to accept the madness.
Yeah.
Like you say, dipping your toe into seeing, and that's only, people might think it's dark, that's fucking level 1, that's the starter. Do you know what I'm saying? I'd imagine these people would be high up and very protected, where they don't let people in very easily, especially if you're having panic attacks.
That's it.
Getting them children to watch porn and things like that from a very young age, that's like the entry level. That's what Satan uses to open the door for him to enter. Do you get what I'm saying? Because then from there, you start battling the spirit of lust and all these things, and it's like, you know, the spirit of lust, it's never satisfied. So 1 minute they can start off from watching that normal people, you know, engaging in whatever, and then after that, you know, they might slip into same-sex sort of thing, then they might slip into animals, just weird stuff. So it's like we got to be very careful with our children, you know, being exposed to these sort of things from a very young age. Get what I'm saying? It's not normal. A lot of us growing up, we thought it was normal, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's just a way of us opening up the doors to a variety of things. You know what I'm saying? That's why you get so many people these days, you know, with the fruity letters, the fruity community, where if you was to sit down and speak to most of them, they're gonna tell you that it all started from somewhere, from them sitting down and watching certain types of videos and then thinking, raw, you know what? Maybe I'm supposed to be this, maybe I'm supposed to be that. But we just got to be very careful with what our children are watching from a very young age.
Yeah. From that moment on, I started ignoring the invitations. And for I think it was about 4 months, it was quite a while. I was like, I've got out of it, I'm fine. I didn't hear nothing off them, and alright, the invites will come, and little emails will come. The agent was ringing me to the point I just blocked his number, sent him a message saying, I'm not doing this anymore. If I owe you any money, let me know. Blocked him. And I was like, I can't have nothing to do with it. And then after about 4 months, I started getting these mad emails, basically detailing where I'd been that day, who I was with, my kids' names. Didn't have my daughter at the time, just my 2 boys. My kids' names. Then it'd be like photo attachments. There was one that...
That's the thing. One thing that she said was, yeah, if it's about the money, I'll pay you what I owe you. It's not about the money. This is spiritual matters. And when I speak to certain people about gang stalking and things like that, they think I'm going mad. They think I'm going crazy. I've seen so many signs where just like, is this really happening? Like, the devil, Satan, will actually send people to monitor you. And it's crazy. It could be online. It could be outside your home. It could be people ringing your doorbell. It could be cars just parked up outside watching you. As soon as you come out, look out your window, then the car drives off. Like all sorts of madness. And it's like, I'm a bit numb to it now because I've seen so much that I'm just like, that's why sometimes you might notice that I come offline for a few days or a week or two, and you might feel like there's something wrong with me, but it's just I can literally feel when I'm being watched. You know, and one thing I've realized as well about my life as well personally, that, you know, when God's prepared to bless me, I've got to be very careful with, you know, appearing online and things like that, because there's certain people who are watching me and it's part of the gang stalking. So this stuff is really real, and people really need to understand that, look, gang stalking is real, and there's people out there that are actually watching you. Same way how she's describing at the moment where she started to ignore them, she started getting pictures and emails. Like, it's true, innit? I know definitely she's not lying on this part because I've witnessed it myself as well.
So the idea of Jesus to me was alien, and I was like, oh, here we go, here's fucking Mad Molly coming back. But he comes towards me, he looks nothing like he's depicted. He looks similar with his Jesus sandals, but that's the only really common thing that we can see in the depictions of him today, like with this big cartoon fucking head to look like a Bratz. And he comes towards me and he puts his arms around me and he went, your soul's yours, you know. And I was like, what the fuck? And I'm crying. I'm sat on a stool at the breakfast bar crying my eyes out, and my mum staring at me. And I was like, what the fuck? And I'm crying. I'm sat on a stool at the breakfast bar crying my eyes out, and my mum staring at me. And I'm talking to Jesus. And yeah, he puts his arms around me, says that, and he says, they're not done with you. but you're going to be all right, but you've got to pick your magic back up. And I'm thinking, I'm not doing magic again. And he starts showing me pentagrams. And I'm thinking, I'm definitely not doing that again.
See, that's the part that confirms to me that she did not see Yeshua. Obviously, I don't know what Jesus she saw, but it definitely was not Yeshua. It's definitely not Yahweh. It's definitely not God. Because he said that you need to pick back up your magic. Yeshua's never going to tell you to pick back up what's an abomination to God. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, he's just not going to do that. And then showing you pin all of that stuff, all of that demonic stuff for you to go back to it. Hell no. That's the moment I was like, yeah, you definitely did not see him. And you definitely still need deliverance. 100%.
And I have this big emotional experience, and it comes out of it, and my mum's like, are you all right, love? And I'm like, I've just had a vision of Jesus. And she just looked at me as if, like, fucking hell, you think I've lost the plot? You have. And I'm thinking to myself, nah, this is mad, but it felt that emotional, it felt that real. There was no way I could deny it. And especially for someone like me, I was a Muslim for a bit and everything. The idea of Jesus just did not gel with me, but after that experience, I was like, nah, he's fucking king. Jesus is king. Like, if anything's real, it's got to be Christ. Or the Christ consciousness. I don't believe Jesus is a God. I just believe Jesus was a human that came down here, showed us how to live, and then went back to fucking heaven, where we all returned to at one point.
I feel like she definitely got a calling in her life. And from what she said about her family, how everyone was diagnosed with certain things, and she wasn't trying to go down that path. And then obviously from what she described, her life, the things that she participated in, sounds like definitely seeking for some sort of truth, but she's not there yet. She definitely needs deliverance, 100%, for her to find the true meaning of life, for her to find her purpose and to encounter Yeshua, like the real Jesus. Do you get what I'm saying? I feel like she's not far off. She knows she definitely don't want to be part of, a certain, what should I say? She don't want to be on the other side. Definitely don't want to be on the other side. But she still needs to fully surrender to Yeshua. That's it. She says she mentioned she's tried being a Muslim and all these other things. She definitely, obviously something might have happened where, because her family were Catholic, something might have happened along the lines where she was like, nah, never. And it's kind of put her off the image of Yeshua, Jesus, should I say. And she just needs to have an account with a real one, but she fully needs to surrender, and she fully needs to repent and be delivered. But she's definitely a generational curse breaker. But she just needs to head down the right path. That's all it is.
Imagine they were actually saying, and what they were saying is legit, but yet we just sign them off, not case. So it's easier.
Don't forget, it was only a couple of years ago they came out with this demon face syndrome.
What's that?
Did you hear about that?
No.
It's where people have started seeing people's face changes into demons, basically. Mm-hmm. And it's a medical condition.
Reptilians?
Some people say they see a reptilian face, but they call it demon face syndrome or something like that.
So that's an actual thing?
Yeah, that's a legitimate condition.
Obviously now they're saying they're seeing demons in people, but just know that very soon there's going to come a time where you're going to see demons live in the flesh. It's not going to be through people, but you're going to literally look at someone and you're going to see that, yo, this is not a human being, this is a demon. And obviously I'm saying that because of what's going on over in, what country is it again? Where CERN is. Obviously We know that the world right now is a very dark place and it's going to get darker. And the more darker it gets, the more we feed these entities, the dark matter. That's what they call it. The more we're feeding this CERN machine, whatever it is. And then these demons are going to be able to appear as humans, alive in the flesh. That's what we're going to be seeing. Might be through AI. When you see these robots walking around, who knows, they're probably going to be the demons, but in one way or another, we're definitely going to start seeing real live demons live in the flesh. And a lot of people are not going to be able to cope with that because they did not prepare. They did not, what should I say, they didn't believe what the Bible was saying. Do you get what I'm saying? But people like me, I've been seeing demons in people. So when they start appearing as actual demons in live flesh, I'm just like, yeah, you know what? It's just another day. I'm used to seeing this. I've been seeing this. But a lot of people are not going to be able to cope with that. And that's just what I feel like that's what she's getting at right now, what she's talking about.
Do I think people's brains are just showing them demonic faces or reptilian faces? No, I don't. I think they're actually seeing demons on people.
The thing about life, we're all looking for guidance.
Yeah.
All human beings want to be guided. That's why they look at politics and prime ministers, look for their leaders to be guided.
I feel like all human beings, we are built, the way we're made to worship something, someone. We're all here to worship. And a lot of people, that's where they go wrong because they don't understand. Part of them seeking knowledge is you're trying to, there's a higher being, but you don't know who is. And when you lack that knowledge, like the Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. When you lack that knowledge of who the greater being is, going to be worshipping the wrong things. And that's what a lot of us fall into. We start worshipping man-made things or other things other than the Most High. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's where we go wrong because we're literally built to worship something. It could be money, it could be certain things in your life that you're worshipping, that you're putting before the Most High, the one who created you. And I feel like, that's just where we go wrong because naturally we're spiritual beings who are built. We're made in a way where we got to worship someone, worship something. And if you're putting your energy towards the wrong thing, and you're worshipping the wrong thing, then you're going to burn in hell. And that's just what it is. That's where a lot of us go wrong, I feel. My personal opinion.
And for whatever reason, it ended up nulling and voiding the contract that I've made with that realm. Do I think they'll just leave me be? No, I still get all kinds of comebacks off it now, not just from the club. To be fair, until this morning when I showed you that message that they've sent me, it's been about 18 months, 2 years since I've heard from them. But again, there's always, like, without phone calls at silly hours of the morning, there's always random emails and stuff like that, not threatening me, not saying anything, not like...
Satan, the devil will never leave you alone. Obviously, us that are in Christ, we don't get left alone anyway, but we got peace. But those people who made a pact with the enemy and they still ain't found Yeshua, just know that he's never going to leave you. That devil is going to be hanging around. It could be a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5. If it's not you, he's going to come for your children. Just know that for a fact. Okay, so he's never going to leave you. And one thing when you're with Yeshua is you have peace, and precision, guidance. If you're not with him, just know that you might be okay, but just know your children are not going to be okay. The next generation are not going to be okay. That's why we see a lot of crime that happens these days, and we're like, can't this person see, like, certain people, they're receiving so much money, or they're getting certain artists, they're getting signed, or you feel like, they're tasting a better side of life, but then they throw it all away over pettiness. we just don't understand it. We're like, why would you do that? You got to realize their parents did something and they didn't sort it out. So they have to now face it. You get what I'm saying? So that's just what happens. And that's what I'm seeing with a lot of my generation. It's like they're doing some stuff that it's just not making sense. They're participating in things that are just not making any sense at all, throwing their life away. But I understand that, it's their parents or their parents' parents or their parents' parents' parents. They're participating in some type of witchcraft or some type of things that, covenant that they made with the devil, some sort of things that they participated or took part in, that now their grandchildren and that are facing it. And right now, she might be okay. She might feel like, yeah, my kids are okay. And, they live, like, I'm not hearing from them for like 18 months and blah, 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 all of this and that. But you got to realize, Satan don't sleep. He's planning, he's plotting. He's going to come, and when it's time for him to collect, for sure he's going to collect,
My woman's on, I started picking my magic up again, because when I stopped hearing this demonic, I started hearing the actual spiritual realm, I started hearing my spirit guides again, stuff like that.
Just know that they're all the same. Because she said that once she stopped hearing this voice, she started hearing her spirit guides and her ancestors and all of this. They're all the same. They're all in the same boat. Same entities, familiar spirits. They're all the same. You know what I'm saying? Anything outside of Yeshua, same thing. They're just trying to keep you trapped in. And the fact that she's gone back to her, doing the magics and all of them sort of things there, just clarifies the fact, what I said earlier about how that Jesus that she met, that said that she needs to go back to her magic, familiar spirits, all the same.
You talk about magic, black magic, white magic.
I'm talking about white magic. So it's obviously...
So you're not doing bad magic? Because there is a lot of powers there. You go into like Africa's and voodoo, and there's a lot of dark stuff. People might not understand it, but again, do your own research. And whether people believes in it or not, but people can put spells on people.
It's all intention. If someone...
I'm talking about the elites. I'm talking about the people who control the world, where they've got these people who can then put spells. Well, if people believe it, I don't know.
Even down to your big fashion houses have shamans on their payroll.
Yeah, well, look, Balenciaga, look at the photos and the videos that they were doing with kids and demonic stuff, like...
I had that vision with Jesus, like I was petrified to do magic, so I didn't for a good few months, and I slowly started reading cards again and stuff like that. And I knew I had to do a pentagram, and I had some girl come to me that I'd met while I was a blood nurse, and she had a really serious illness. She was dying, and I still see this thing on. I could always see them from that point moving forward. I didn't hear them, but I could see them. And she was quite spiritual. Obviously, she's near an end of life. I think you do go a bit spiritual in anyway. And she was like, I know that there's...
What I'd like to add is that obviously we all got a gift. God can gift you with certain things, but it's up to you what you're going to use it, where you're going to use it, which side you're going to use it on. Like, I know a few people that have gifts, but they just decide to use it for evil. You know what I'm saying? They can see in the spirit, they could tell you about your life. Like, for example, witch doctors and them sort of people there, they can see in the spirit. They can see what's going on, what's about to happen, what's in the future, all of that stuff. But they just choose to use their gift for the other side, And I feel like this woman, she's gifted, but she just constantly keeps going back to the other side. Maybe because it's easier, because I said before, Yeshua, when you're trying to follow him, when you're trying to follow God, the Most High, comes with rules, it comes with laws, and a lot of people just don't want to obey the laws. They don't want to do that. So they'll rather, because of magic, they're attracted to magic. They'll rather just, get a quick fix. I feel like that's the reason why she keeps going back. reading cards and all of them sort of things there.
Something attached to me, can you try and help me? And I'd explained everything that I'd gone through. We were messaging on Facebook. And she went, will you see if you can remove it? And I was like, look, I've been shown magic, but I don't know whether I can do that. And we just did it as a spirit at the moment thing. I was like, yeah, come round and we'll have a cup of tea and I'll fucking exercise your demons, queen. And she came round and it worked. And I was like, whoa, what I can fucking do, this is mad. And I remember I was doing a healing on it. And so I can see auric fields, yours is green.
The reason why it worked is because Satan's trying to keep you in that loophole. You know, he's trying to make you feel like this side here, you know, anything that you might do, any sort of healing you might do, it's working. So stay over on this side. Our people perish for lack of knowledge.
Yeah. And I'm doing like a hands-on healing with it, and it picks up this thing in her auric fields. It's what I know now as a cancer marker, so you can see certain illnesses within the auric fields on people before your doctors are likely to pick it up. And I was like, I don't know what I'm seeing. I mean, she passed away before I understood what I'd seen. God love her. But
and I'd like to add, that's just what a lot of these modern day pastors, they've got a gift to see, you know, these prophets, got a gift to prophesy and all of these things, but they just use it in the wrong field, on the wrong side. But they gain a lot of following because they're performing magic in some way, and people are attracted to magic. They're attracted to getting a quick answer for their issues, for their problems. But what happens is anything outside of Yeshua, the truth and all of that stuff, all it's doing is it's just replacing your demons, more demons. But you're gonna figure that out, you're gonna find that out later on in life. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna replace something. You might be suffering from, I don't know, arm injury or something like that, and then that's being replaced for the moment for a heart failure later on in life. Do you get it? So anything outside of Yeshua is long.
I think I started trying to share little bits of my story online. It's always been, I set up a little business doing tarot readings anyway. That's how I sort of started getting back into this side of life. And I started sharing bits of my story on Instagram. I was getting shadow banned. None of my videos would be seen. They'd be deleted.
I'm gonna come to that.
All kinds of stuff. And then it just snowballed from there. More and more people have sort of heard my story or have come to me for various things, and I've told them what I can do, and they've wears them out. Go to Molly, she'll sort you out. And since then I've been living on the light side of life.
How's that feel?
I feel lucky. I feel grateful, to be fair. You know, I was never a bad person in the beginning. I've always been a very, very...
Nobody.
No.
Exactly what he said. Nobody feels like they're a bad person because you feel like you're helping people. So it's like, yeah, I'm doing great. But all you're doing is you're replacing their demons. Your life, like I said, your life might be good, but your children, the next generation, your bloodline, going to be stuck. They're going to be in a bondage with the enemy. And that's all that's going to happen later on down the line. And it's sad to see that a lot of people do actually perish for the lack of knowledge.
You know, to get into what I got into, I didn't do it out of greed. I didn't do it, oh, I just want loads of money. It was because I wanted to give my kids, you know, a lovely life, and I wanted to support my mum so she, you know, has all the drugs she wants, type of thing. And I think that's the only reason why I managed to, one, null and void the soul contract, because I do think a lot of people go into this.
And that's what I'm saying. People don't understand that the devil can bless you as well. Satan can bless you. He can bless you with these things. With a gift that you have, he can make it work for you and bless you. And one of the reasons why he's blessing you, because all she's doing is she's keeping people in bondage. So for that reason, he's going to keep blessing you, because more people are coming to you for this so-called healing. You know what I'm saying? So He's going to bless you. And you're going to carry on doing what you're doing and thinking that your life's great. But like I said, when the devil comes to collect later on in life, it's going to be swift. You know what I'm saying? And your kids, your bloodline's going to suffer at the end of it.
Who do you think operates the world?
I don't think they're human. I think they're working with forces. So a lot of people will say, "Oh, the Jews run everything." Or Zionists. Let's not be anti-Semitic. The Zionists. There's something that they're worshipping. There's something that they're working with in order to have power here on earth. Because really,
currently, I'm doing a lot of research, a lot of studies on history, and what she just mentioned, these people keep popping up. So look out for the video. Soon I'm going to shoot a video, a history video, you know, an in-depth look on, you know, the type of people that she just mentioned. Because they're very interested in our history, whether you're Christian or whatnot, wherever you are, whatever religion you are. It's very important that you know the part that these type of people played, you know, in our history. It's crazy. Crazy.
the second dimension is what I would call a demonic realm. So when I exercise demons or other kinds of entities, I'll send them below there.
Where'd you send? Wait.
But where we are in
whose name
the
do you
third
send these
dimension, if you look into
demons? Do you
numerology, there's the
exercise
number
these
of the
demons and
criminals, the
send
number
them
of
to?
trouble. So
Whose
I
name
would
do
say
you-
that as well. I
Whose
think
name
we're
do you
on
come
hell
in?
now.
Because you don't
And I
believe
think
in
we just got...
Yeshua, so
well,
it's
no, I
like,
think the Bible was written to confuse us, to
like,
believe that
what?
there's some other kinds of purgatory we go
No.
to in all.
Whose name does she come in when she sends these demons to wherever she's sending them to? Like, demons are not a joke. You can't just come up to them and just say, "I'm going to send you here and there," and they're going to go. Like, come on, are you serious?
Two of my boys are autistic. I mean, the bright as a button, do you know what I mean? The verbal and stuff like that. But my middle child was like, "I want to kill you all. I want to kill myself and I want to kill you all." I remember being on the phone to the mental health crisis team and all.
She just mentioned about how two of her boys are autistic, and that just shows that, from what she said, obviously her family members, the whole of her family, they suffer from some type of illness. And that just shows that still, obviously, it runs in the family and it's still running in the family, but you're still playing around with magic. That just shows you that whatever you're doing is an abomination to the Most High, and you have to turn away from your wicked ways. The more you continue in that, your boys, their kids, their children, like I said, the bloodline is just gonna be in this bondage that you need to either you need to get delivered or they're gonna have to. Don't just ignore it. It's very important. I feel like, you know, that's why I do these sort of videos, because I just want to shine a light on these sort of things that you might feel like, yeah, your life's all right, but yet your children are going through certain things, and it's not going to stop there. That's just the awareness and the knowledge that I wish to provide in these sort of videos.
What do you think life is?
A lesson. It's all a lesson. We're all just here to learn.
And there you have it. Hope you lot enjoyed that video. Obviously, it just shows us that along your path, you know, you might be trying to break a generational curse, but if you lack the knowledge of Yeshua and the way, you know, the Bible, the Word, you can get caught up, you can get lost. You know, a lot of us, even me myself, I got lost at one point where I was just seeking knowledge. Like I said, human beings, we're here to, you know, there's something in our spirit where God's placed something within us where we are built to worship. If you're looking around on what to worship, certain people worship money and all of them sort of things there, material things, magic even. A lot of people that, you know, let's say that are in our religion in a way, in Christianity, and they seek, for prophets to prophesy. Just everything to do with a quick fix. Tell me what you know about my life. How can I fix my life? And I want it now. I'm prepared to pay this sort of money for it. That's just the same thing that what she's doing as well. She's like, look, I wanted money, not a lot, but I just wanted enough to at least sustain my family and things like that. She got it. But we got to remember that the devil, Satan, can also bless people as long as you're doing what he wants you to do. And from her story, she's keeping people in bondage in some way. She feels like she's helping them by exorcising demons and all of these things, chasing them out. But under whose name? That's the most important thing. Yeshua said, ask everything under my name. You get what I'm saying? And she's not using his name. So obviously, it's just one of the things we've got to realize, that the enemy roams around looking for whom to devour. He's circulating, looking for people. As long as you're working on his side and you're doing things for his kingdom, keeping people in bondage, then he's going to continue to bless you until he no longer needs you. And it might be your children. Somewhere along down your bloodline, someone's going to have to face the consequences. And that's just one thing that I wanted to, bring to awareness, most of us, to a lot of us, that continue seeking God, Yeshua, continue being stuck in the Word, reading the Bible, seeking the Most High, the real one. Just it's about salvation at the end of the day, because you could be one of them people that are out here thinking that you're helping people. Yeah, my family's good, everything's good, but you're just gonna burn at the end of the day. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm just here to just raise the awareness, and I hope you lot found this video helpful. If you have, make sure you press the like button, make sure you subscribe if it's your first time seeing me today. My name's Forever Blessed Chris. This has been Chris Speaks. I'll catch you lot on the next video. Remember that I love you, but remember Yeshua loves you even more. I'll see you on the next video. God bless you.
Feels like I'm running out of time, 'cause we got souls on the line. Yeah, we got souls on the line, but are you willing to stay? Try not to miss a shot like Trap in the year. Serve faith and love, not hate or fear. If you're on the other side, then don't come near. I've been so sincere, ain't no jokes in here. I can see through them lies, no smokes and mirrors. Rose against all odds, still coping here. If you're talking about flow, then we got loads in the head. Stand firm, I don't care what you